everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a piece of tech you've definitely heard of, but you might not know exactly how it all works under the hood. We're pulling back the curtain on virtual private networks. Yeah, VPNs, to show you how they literally build your own personal private tunnel right on top of the public internet. So let's jump in and see how it's done. All right, let me start by asking you something. When you hop online, do you feel like your connection is actually private? I think most of us just assume it is, but the truth is your online activity is way more of an open book than you might think. Everything from what you're searching for to the websites you visit, it can all be seen by others. And this, right here, shows you the whole story in one shot. Without a VPN, your data is just out there. Your internet service provider, your ISP, can see it. The person running the public Wi-Fi at your local coffee shop can see it. But when you switch on a VPN, that same data gets wrapped up and shielded inside an encrypted tunnel, making it all just gibberish to anyone trying to snoop. This is the fundamental promise of a VPN, taking back your privacy. Okay, so to really get this, let's think of the internet as this huge, sprawling public highway. When you're browsing without a VPN, your data is basically like a postcard. Anyone who handles it along its journey can just flip it over and read what's on it. Now, every device on this highway has a public identifier, and that's called an IP address. The easiest way to think about it is like your digital street address. It tells websites where to send stuff back to you, but it also gives away your general location and acts like a badging tag that can be used to follow you around the web. So who's actually looking at these postcards? Well, for starters, your internet service provider sees every website you go to. If you're using public Wi-Fi, the network operator can be watching your traffic. And of course, all the websites you visit are logging that IP address. Basically, there's pretty much zero privacy by default out on this public highway. So what's the fix? How do we get some privacy back? This is where the VPN swoops in. It doesn't get rid of the highway, no, but what it does is build your very own private, armored tunnel right through the middle of it all. Let's take a look at how this tunnel actually gets built. So, a virtual private network. I mean, the name says it all, right? It creates a virtual network that's totally private, and it pulls this off by building a secure encrypted connection, that's our tunnel, that goes from your device all the way to a remote server run by the VPN company. All of your internet traffic, everything you do, gets rerouted through this protected tunnel. Okay, let's walk through how this actually happens, step by step. First, you fire up your VPN app and connect to a server. That server could be anywhere in the world. The second you're connected, your data gets encrypted, scrambled into an unreadable code. Then, that scrambled data shoots through the secure tunnel to the VPN server. And finally, get this, because this is the magic part. The server sends your request out to the internet, but it uses its IP address, not yours. Your real IP is totally hidden from the websites you visit.
So, let's talk about the walls of this tunnel. What are they made of? Well, they're built from something called encryption. Think of it like an unbreakable, super complex digital lock that keeps all your information safe from prying eyes. And that includes your own internet provider.
You're going to see this number thrown around a lot when we talk about top-tier encryption, 256-bit. This is referring to something called AES 256. It's basically the gold standard, the kind of encryption used by militaries and banks to protect their most sensitive secrets. I mean, the number of possible combinations is so mind-bogglingly huge that it's pretty much impossible for today's computers to crack. The bottom line is this. Encryption takes your normal readable data and just scrambles it into something called ciphertext. The only way to turn it back into something readable is to have the correct secret key. With a VPN, your device and the VPN server share that key so they can talk to each other securely, while anyone else trying to peek in just sees a bunch of scrambled nonsense. Okay, but here's the thing. Not all these tunnels are built the same way. The specific set of instructions for how to build that secure tunnel and handle the encryption, that's called a VPN protocol. They're basically the blueprints for your private tunnel, and they determine how fast and how secure it's going to be. Right, so a protocol is just the set of rules that decides how to build the tunnel. And this is where it gets interesting, because different rules mean different trade-offs. Some protocols are built for pure, blazing fast speed, perfect for streaming. Others prioritize maximum hardcore security, and some are designed to be super stable, especially on your phone. All right, let's look at the big three you'll probably run into. First up, WireGuard. This one is all about speed, which makes it awesome for streaming and just general everyday use. Then you have OpenVPN. This is the trusted veteran. It's super secure, the gold standard for anyone who's really focused on privacy. And finally, there's iKey V2, which is kind of the specialist for mobile devices because it's so good at staying connected when you're on the move. And this is really the main event for a lot of people right now, the veteran versus the challenger. OpenVPN is a titan. It's been around forever, it's been battle-tested, but it's also huge, built on over 400,000 lines of code. WireGuard, on the other hand, is the new kid on the block. It's sleek, modern, and has only about 4,000 lines of code. That massive difference makes it incredibly fast and a whole lot easier to check for security bugs. And honestly, this quote just nails it. If you're streaming or gaming and need every ounce of speed you can get, WireGuard is probably your best bet. But if your number one priority is bulletproof security, or you need to get around a really tough network firewall, OpenVPN's power and flexibility often give it the win. Okay, so right now, VPNs probably sound like some kind of magic privacy shield, right? They sound amazing, but, and this is a big but, we need a little reality check. A VPN is an incredibly powerful tool, for sure, but it's not a magical cloak of invisibility. There are some things it just can't do.
But first, let's just quickly recap what they do and do really well. A VPN absolutely hides your real IP address from websites. It definitely encrypts your traffic so your ISP can't see what you're up to. And it's an absolute must-have for keeping you safe on sketchy public Wi-Fi. And look, these are absolutely massive wins for your day-to-day privacy.
But let's get real about the blind spots. A VPN doesn't stop websites from using cookies to track you across the internet. It's not an antivirus program, so it won't save you if you download a nasty file. And this is the big one. If you're logged into your Google account or Facebook or whatever, they know it's you. The VPN doesn't change that. It protects your connection, but it doesn't make you anonymous to the services you willingly sign into. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. A VPN protects you from the outside world by sending all your data through its private servers. Your data is totally secure inside that tunnel. But think about it. Who holds the keys to the tunnel itself? The VPN provider. This is why choosing a trustworthy VPN with a strict, audited no-logs policy isn't just a nice feature. It is everything. Because at the end of the day, what's the point of building a private tunnel if the guy who built it is just watching everything you do inside?